Why North Korea is hell for women? When the UN reported North Korea had committed human rights violation, the regime declared that North Korea is heaven for women. It is not any kind for heaven we had been familiar with. At the recent North Korea summit, Kim Jong-un was accompanied by four women including his own sister. People unfamiliar with North Korea might hope that pretend good things regarding gender equality in North Korea. Bushal reported that the presence of these four women in intriguing, but some speculate that their participation could be a strategic primarily intended to impress other world leaders and change how they perceive North Korea. I am hardly a world leader, but I am not that impressed. That because the lives of women in North Korea are hellish, walking nightmares, albeit if Trump is to be believed with great views of the beach. Those cut cheerleader of for North Korea that people loved at the Olympics. The ones whose outfits inspired such complimentary news reports when they performed at the opening ceremony. They are sex slaves. Lee So Lee So-yeon, a North Korean military musician who escaped the country in 2008, explained that it might seem like a fancy show on the outside. However, they also have to go to parties and provide services. That sort of plan also follows. They go to the Central Politburo Party events and have to sleep with the people there even if they do not want it. At least the women in the handmaid stall do not have to cheer in between rapes. They are not alone. One defector describes teenagers being pulled out of school to serve as Kim Jong-un's sex slaves, remarking, "Official came to our school and picked out teenage girls to work at one of his hundreds of homes around Pyongyang. They take the breasts and ensure they have straight, good legs. They learn to serve him food like caviar and extremely rare delicacies. They are also taught how to message him to and they become sex slaves. Yes, they have to sleep with him and they cannot make a mistake or object because they could very easily simply disappear. One woman who claimed an official raped her when she spoke to him about housing opposition explained. In North Korea, dreams woman's dream cannot be achieved without being raped or without selling her body. That true whether her dream is obtaining a home or serving in the military. A female military official who defected describes how a company commander would stay in his room at the unit after hours and rape the female soldiers under his command. This would happen over and over without an end. While rape is illegal in North Korea, it is so widely accepted that most women are afraid to report it if indeed they know what it is. A survey of defectors intended to assess the rate of sexual violence in North Korea had to be told what sexual violence was because the publisher remarked with a thought it was just normal male behavior. While the stories regarding rare are horrific, it is not the only hardship women in North Korea face. Domestic violence is condoned, and one defector claims if hundreds are violent towards their lives, the government does not interfere. In my hometown, I had say domestic violence occurred on a daily basis in 3 out of 10 households and less often in others. Some people escape typically to China and South Korea. It is estimated that 85% of escapees are female, which seems to speak to the particular horror of their lives. However, escape carriers with it is a risk of trafficking, men posing as helpers often rare or sell those women into sexual slavery. China also forcibly repatriates defectors to North Korea. Women are often afraid to speak with the police. If those women are pregnant when they are found and brought back to North Korea, a forced abortion is performed upon them. A memo from Christian Solidarity Worldwide to Parliament describes how witnesses spoke of women detained with them who were pregnant being taken away and coming back without their baby, complaining of the head break pain and hours of having forced abortion. One witness described how she personally saw a prisoner giving birth to a baby and the nurses cutting the umbilical cord and then something the baby with a wet towel. Life in prisons is even worse. One report presented to the War Crimes Committee in Washington, D.C. in 2016 described not just frequent rapes but one prisoner's newborn child being fed to the dogs. Despite all of this, when the UN reported North Korea had committed human rights violations, the regime used a reply declaring that North Korea is heaven for women. It is not any kind of heaven we had been familiar with. Democratic leaders often have to work with authoritarians to ensure peace around the world. Certainly, we should hope that Trump talks with Kim Jong un decreases the risk of nuclear war. However, when Trump refers to Kim Jong un as very honorable, it should make you deeply uncomfortable. Very honorable people do not keep sex slaves. They do not have regimes where infants are taken from their mothers and murdered. When Trump similarly submit films showing himself and Kim Jong un as similar will for the sake of American